Welcome, listeners, to this episode of Listen, Kristi. If you're new here, I'm Liz, and this is Kristi. We decided to change it up tonight because we are tired of all the bullshit in the news. I'm tired of it anyways. You're probably tired of it too, and if you're not, you should be tired of it. I don't want to hear about politics tonight. I don't want to hear about P. Diddy, and I don't want to hear about any other F-arounds that are misbehaving and getting away with it. So we thought we'd pick the brain of the one and only Kristi Schiller and just dive deep into hearing all of the things that, maybe somebody's never asked her before. I'm going to start with the social media queen. If you had to delete all but 3 apps on your cell phone, your tablet, which 3 would you keep?
Now, that being said, I have a lot of apps.
You have a lot of apps.
I bet you I easily have 250 or 300 on each device. I would keep Google because now it's a verb. I mean, I can't live without Google. And I would have to say YouTube because it is the number 2 search engine in the world. And then, of course, my tried and true.
Your new love affair.
My new love affair, ChatGPT.
I was telling Sinclair the other day, when you're smiling and working on your computer, I never know if it's somebody. Like, usually if you're laughing, it's either Sinclair or it's Coley, your cousin. But now, most recently, if you're smiling at your computer, it's actually ChatGPT that's responding.
ChatGPT, which my cousin Coley got me started on.
Yeah, so the apple doesn't fall far. What is your idea of perfect happiness?
I don't know if there is such thing. And maybe that's one of the things that we tease ourselves or I just don't know if there is perfect happiness. I think we can be content in the life that we have. We can reach goals and...
Okay. Are you today at the peak of what that might look like, or have you reached that peak already?
No, I don't think I've peaked.
Okay. Well, good. Good to know. You have lots to look forward to, folks.
Not close to peaking.
What is your greatest fear?
Someone would call me mediocre.
Mediocre? Is that a dip?
No. Mediocrity. Just,
Yeah.
Just plain vanilla.
Yeah. That would be a diss for you. That's not possible. Nobody could ever come up with that for you. Which living person do you most admire?
I have to be my daughter, Kimball Sinclair. She is absolutely resilient. She, on the other hand, is living one of her best lives. She's doing exactly what she wants. She goes to school at Emory. She's writing, and she's dreaming of law school and all the things, business school, and she's writing for the school newspaper, and she's written a book.
I know, she's killing it. Yeah. I want to come back as Sinclair.
Yep.
What is the trait that you most deplore in yourself?
The trait I most deplore, having to explain strokes to someone that doesn't know it or someone that hasn't been around me for a while, and then they say, and they can almost read their face.
I was going to say your driving skills.
My driving skills. Well, I don't drive anymore, so I haven't driven in 3 years.
Right, well, it shouldn't make anybody
So
terrified.
I forgot about that one.
If they said, hey, why don't you drive? Don't let her drive. Don't give her the keys. No. Even if she's your DD, don't let it
It is hard for me to laser focus.
Mm-hmm. What is your greatest extravagance?
Gosh, my greatest extravagance.
I know my answer for you for this.
Creme brulee and foie gras? What?
I think just cosmetics.
Yes. Amazon Prime is my greatest extravagance.
Who are we kidding? Exactly.
Jeff Bezos, yes.
Put a ring on it already. On what occasion do you lie?
If I'm granted immunity.
That's taking it to a pretty dark place. What do you dislike most about your appearance?
My elbows. I've never liked my elbows.
What?
they don't look right from the other side, and I feel like my 45 degree
Doesn't look like everybody else's
45 degree, and
I have never heard
it's
anybody complain
a
about
bony
their elbows.
Yeah, I'm not into elbows.
Well, I do remember I had surgery on my elbow when I was 12. I fell.
Now, if I had a really cool scar like you did, I could maybe.
No, it's not a cool scar. I remember thinking to myself, oh, that's like right on the inside of my elbow, tucked right in. If I hold nobody will ever see it.
Yeah.
So
I don't have any cool scars.
So I hate scars. But let's see. Which living person do you most despise? You're not really a despise kind of person.
I'm not a hater. I may despise someone for like a breath, but then I'll forget about it. I would say whoever worked with Diddy to keep his secret, whoever helped pull off that mastermind of what they thought was a mastermind, but to destroy that many lives, including his own children's. But whoever partook in that, I despise them. There's a special place in hell for them.
Good answer. When or where were you the most happy?
A trip, maybe? Absolutely, hands down, my favorite place in the whole wide world is Kwandwe in South Africa. The only reason I was rooting for Hillary last time is because I swore I was going to move there. Yes, she won. It is my favorite place on earth. The sun rises, the sun sets, it's just like God just kissed it and made it perfect.
I can't wait to go. Which talent would you like to have?
I would love to sing like Whitney Houston for 5 minutes.
Just 5 minutes?
5 minutes. I'd take anything I could get. Just one note, half a song. I mean,
at least ask for a day.
She has so much talent.
What would you say is your greatest achievement?
I haven't killed anybody this week. Canines for cops and canines for kids. I hope that's my legacy.
I think it will be. Unless you kill somebody this week.
Unless those Diddy tapes. No, I'm not on the Diddy tapes.
If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Speak multiple languages.
That's an easy thing to add.
What?
If you want to change something about yourself.
I would probably want to learn some type of skill, and I don't mean off YouTube, but something to better somebody's life. Ever since I've had strokes, TBIs, I'm fascinated with neuroscience. If I could just jump in the role and somebody implanted, the knowledge that I needed in my mind, I would love to help other people that are experiencing the same thing.
I like that answer. If you could change one thing about your family, what would it be?
They eventually need to move out of denial, which is not a river in Egypt, and maybe I should have emancipated sooner.
Okay.
I wish my daddy were still alive.
I wish he was too. I would have liked to have met him, I think.
He was a lot of fun.
When you meet a spectacular person and you have met the people who contributed to being who they are, and you realize that there's one large block of their identity that's kind of missing. Like I feel like so much about who you are I'm not saying all of the best qualities, but a lot of your really great qualities I think you probably got from him. So he's somebody I would have really liked to have met.
Right. He was a great storyteller, and I love that.
If you weren't doing what you're currently doing for a living, what would you like to be doing?
I'd make a really great billionaire. And
They still have to do something.
Well, you could buy a lottery ticket. There's a lot of ways that. What would I do?
I'll come back to that one.
Give me a hint.
What hint?
Yeah.
I think that after our trips to comedy camp, I think that if we could collectively find the right group of people to sit around and be at a writer's tables with all day.
Oh,
and just
yes. Now, if I wasn't doing what I was doing, I would be the head writer for Saturday Night Live. I would be, because the longest shot I've ever taken is 1 mile, thanks to my Navy SEAL friend.
Not to kill somebody, by the way.
Not to kill somebody, but just at a target, a little over 1 mile. Or I would be Boone Pickins's, like, of course he's passed on, but like his 9th wife, which really, they're all one and the same. A sniper, a comedian, or Boone's 9th wife, or whatever.
And how is that a career choice?
Ask the other 8 wives. I mean, they all walked away with quite a bit. But he was it's not even about the money. He was a very interesting man.
Okay.
He was very sharp, very witty.
Who are your favorite writers?
Well, I feel like I should give a shout out to Anne Rice, even though I've not read anything she's written. Let's save that story for another bathroom time. My friend Hunter Thompson, I went to his funeral, and I've always loved Jackie Collins, but I don't really read fiction. Some of the best biographies I've ever read, I just got through reading Sumner Redstone's. Of course, Lee Iacocca, hands down. I think no one should be allowed to graduate high school without reading Marcus Luttrell's book. It is, I absolutely could not put it down.
Any others?
American Sniper, Chris Kyle. The Bible probably couldn't hurt, but I haven't gotten,
We'll add
Let's not rush out on edge.
to your to-do list.
Yeah.
What's your motto?
Hakuna Matata.
You need to start using it more then.
Yeah, I know, because I use horse shit way too much. Horse shit, that is horse shit. Mm-hmm. You can use it in every different kind of context, but just horse shit, I use it a lot. But you're right, I need to replace that. If I looked at somebody and they were expecting a horse shit and I said, Hakuna Matata, they'd probably throw me in the back of a rubber van and take me straight to...
I expect you to use it at least one time tomorrow. I'm going to be testing you.
That and pragmatic watermelon.
Yes. We'll save that for a later date and time. Mm-hmm. You know who you are.
Yes.
If you could have dinner with anyone dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I was thinking about this. Roy Cohn. Because Roy Cohn, they talk about, did he learn his proclivities from somebody?
Right.
We don't know who. There's been speculation. But who groomed Donald Trump was Roy Cohn. And he was a master at manipulating the media and the McCarthy hearings. And he was, 23, 24 years old when that happened. There's been movies. And his whole analogy was, I don't care if you're caught red-handed, you deny. And, he passed of AIDS and denied to his last breath that he had it. And just a brilliant, brilliant man. I would absolutely love to sit down and listen to him and talk and listen to what made him tick. And
I don't think you want to have dinner with him. I think you want to interrogate him when he's been injected with truth serum.
Absolutely.
Okay. What's a question you wish people would ask you when they met you for the first time? Or what you knew they were thinking?
My lips are real.
You wish they'd just come out and say, are those yours? So you could just
and I do have quite a few. I bet once or twice a week. I do have somebody say, "Are those your lips?" Yes.
Yeah, and people get shitty with you. Like, you can't talk right. What's wrong with your face?
Right.
I mean, people are real assholes when it comes to, like,
Right.
again, Kristi's lips are real. Mine are fake.
I had to have surgery on this side of my face and 2,000 stitches. And they went in and replaced this bone. This side was okay. They went and replaced this bone with my rib. 30% of my scalp is my ears, my ribs, and cartilage because I got staph that attached to the bone here.
And 2,000 stitches in your mouth and jaw from the inside. So your lips are scar tissue-y.
Yeah, I have a lot. If you feel on the inside, just on one side, just a lot of scar tissue.
So real lips.
Sometimes
folks.
it's a little harder for me to I don't know, talk. It just seems to, some days the scar tissue just seems to swell.
Okay, so don't be modest, Kristi. What's something you love about yourself?
Not the scar tissue. My Rolodex. And most people are gonna, if you even have to ask what's a Rolodex,
Get off.
just turn it off. You're not gonna be my friend. I started collecting names and numbers, seriously. Like some people do baseball cards or Matchbox cards or whatever. But I have files upon files, written down the hard way, the old way, with notes on the back, what I was wearing, what they ate, what they...
So there's this standing joke that Sinclair has asked multiple times. Like, Alissa, when you came to Texas, what did you really think you were going to be doing? So when I came, I really thought I was moving here to help you get organized, organize your closet, and like, I don't know, help you build out like a makeup room. Since then, much has transpired. But I did actually take an Adderall one night and be like, okay, I'm going to reorganize this entire, I don't know what, 1,500 square foot space.
Right.
Without sleep, 24 hours. I found more business cards of very important people in that 24 hours in old handbags, in old shoe boxes. Just, I was like, I mean, I had a stack of this.
From the Forbes list.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I was like, well, it's a true story. That Rolodex is something, I mean, but it's also why people call you 24/7 and say, hey, yeah, I need a root canal for Bon Jovi's drummer at 3 o'clock in the morning. Can you help me?
Or somebody called me this 2 weeks ago to see if I could get them invited to Lana Del Rey's wedding on the bayou.
Hey, you've done it to yourself. I don't
I
know what to
said,
tell you.
remind me what she sings. I mean,
You've done it to yourself.
just go put on overalls and take an alligator net and walk on in. You'll look like you belong.
We'll tell everybody about how you went into Anna Nicole's
Yeah.
funeral later. How would you like to die? It's a very morbid question. I did not put this in here, by the way.
Quickly. That I didn't even see it coming.
Okay. Well, let's see if there's any, like, curveball questions I can ask you.
Curveballs.
What's the hardest decision you've ever made?
Gosh. You know, was it going to be a rock star or go to medical school? I can't. Neither one. But
We'll come back to that as well. We'll save that for a later episode because I think that's a great question. What would be your ideal way to spend your birthday?
in a 5-star hotel with clean, fresh, cold sheets, and that it was turned down to 62 degrees. I had lots of blankets and Netflix.
No, YouTube.
YouTube. I am a YouTuber.
You have swapped the news for YouTube.
Yes.
All right, last question. What's a secret talent you have that not many people know about?
I can order the check in like 4 different languages.
Really?
That's it. Let's see. That's not really a secret talent. It's like something that maybe nobody knows about you. Mm-hmm. I was arrested for robbing a bank.
I know that about you.
Yeah, okay. It wasn't me.
Obviously.
I can't imagine anybody who looked like me, but...
The person with the scorpion tattoos.
Oh, no, 9 scorpion tattoos they had. That should have been the first giveaway. And that English was not her first language.
Ask me.
Repeat the question.
What's a secret talent that nobody knows you have?
You're double jointed.
ZYXWVUTSRQPONMLKJIHDF80CBA.
Barry Gordy was the only other person I've ever known that's been able to, that could read the alphabet backwards.
I can say it faster backwards than I can say it forwards. I probably got a little tongue-tied
Has that
there.
ever helped you into DWI?
I'm sure it could.
It could.
Yeah. ZYXWVUTSRQPONMLKJIHDF80CBA. It's a thing. My uncle made me do it when I was like 11 to prove that I was smart. I was like, so if I can't, I'm not. So.
Uncle Jack?
Don't worry, I'll teach you.
Well, I don't drive, so I won't really need that trick for getting pulled over.
All right, well, last question. I know I said that was the last one, but if you won the lottery, what would your today look like in 5 years?
There'd be signs. My life would not change.
Well,
But there'd be 1,000 other canines.
let's see. We're here for it. I bought you lottery tickets today to see if you put your money
How do
where
you
your mouth
do
is. You got to scratch it off.
Oh, with your fingers?
No, I'll get you a penny.
Okay.
All right.
Well, people want to see if I'm going to be a gazillionaire.
Well, we'll have to let them know on the down low.
Okay, so I don't know how to do it, so you'll have to watch.
She doesn't know how to do a scratch off, folks.
Well, I don't know. Do you scratch them all off?
Sometimes she just needs a humble friend. I am the humble friend. For the people who think that they're never going to get there on their own, they have to do it like this.
Yeah. Well, that would be my sign, is I'd have somebody as a professional scratcher. But other than that, the wardrobe, the car, nothing else would change. But, I'd probably be out buying dogs in bulk.
All right, well, that's it for your nighttime episode of 20 questions, or however many questions that was. And we'll see you again soon. Say goodnight, Lucy.